see you rock. So come let me jump. Come let me see you jump. So come let me rock. Come let me see you rock. Music playing, Sarah, while you are dancing. Lively up yourself, Sarah. Darling, tell me if you need an injection. Put me in the group, Sarah. If you need a company, I'm available. Just hold on to me, Sarah. Oh girl, music playing. Music jamming. Come let we prance up. Come let we dance up. I'm telling you, Sarah. Sarah, darling.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, the Police Welfare Association and the government have reached an agreement for salary increase for police officers. Internationally, Israel military begun preliminary actions of a grand offensive to occupy Gaza City. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
It's in the feeling and how we talk. It's in the meaning and our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. 'Cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things going. We people, we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrating. Come let your rhythm flow.
DBS News.
Welcome back and welcome to the listeners of Acoustic Worship Radio. The Dominica Police Welfare Association and the government have reached an agreement for salary increase for police officers. David Andrew Jr. is the chairman of the Police Welfare Association.
We concluded negotiations with government and we agreed for an 8% salary increase. 3% in the first year, 2% in the second year, and 3% in the third year. I can say that government has honored its obligations to the membership of the Police Welfare Association so far, and we have received 3% for the first year and 2% for the second year. Also, I must make mention that of the $250 risk allowance that is paid to several sections within the police force that was never receiving it. For the first time in the history of the police force, places sections like traffic department, the general beat and patrol, the tourism unit, the telecom sections, those sections never received an allowance before. And for the first time in the history of the police force, these sections have received an allowance. So we are very much thankful to the government for honoring their responsibility to the police officers.
Chairman of the Police Welfare Association, David Andrew Jr. An over $800,000 multipurpose facility was officially commissioned in the community of Grand Bay this morning. The facility, funded by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, will benefit the communities of Grand Bay and Dubic. Project manager of the Basic Needs Trust Fund, Matthew Carrett, says this facility will serve as a village council office, a hurricane shelter, and also for events.
Project, which started on September 9, 2024, with an overall project cost of $870,256.62. And this project involved the complete renovation of this two-story structure, multi-purpose. So it tells of the varied activities that are expected to take place in this building. So on the ground floor, we have an expanded village council office. We have an electrical room, washroom. There's a full kitchen, conference room, and storeroom. The other part houses the library, office for the district development officer, and there's a hurricane shelter for the physically challenged persons. And one thing we always do in our projects is to ensure that there's access for persons with, with disabilities. So you'll note that when you enter the washrooms, they have some large washrooms that can accommodate wheelchair access. On the upper floor, you have an events hall with a stage, the backstage, the full kitchen, the storeroom, toilet and shower facilities. This events hall will also function as a hurricane shelter, provide ramps for easy access, and we have an emergency water supply and solar external lights.
Project Manager of the Basic Needs Trust Fund, Matthew Carrett. Minister for Community Development, Greta Roberts, says the multipurpose center will positively impact the community.
The government of Dominica has over the years focused on providing resources to facilitate the delivery of services, recognizing that in order to improve service delivery, the quality of our infrastructure and a safe, conducive working environment is of utmost importance. This multipurpose facility certainly will have a positive impact since it will be of benefit to everyone in the community. It is expected to provide improved access to services, recreational activities, and social interaction. The center will also provide space for children who will be making full use of the library. The village council patiently and in earnest to resume the use of this facility. Our cultural enthusiasts and the groups will also have access to a suitable place to host their activities whilst allowing community groups and families to gather together.
Minister for Community Development, Greta Roberts. Parliamentary representative for the Grand Bay constituency, Dr. Vince Henderson, called on constituents to embrace this facility.
Let us integrate this building as part of the community, as I know you have in the past, but now that you have greater facilities, let us utilize it even more. Let's make it open, but let's make it active. Let's put it in use. Whether it's for adult education, for continuing learning, for anything that we can do, let us seek to do that. And if we can incorporate more services in there, let's do that.
Parliamentary representative for the Grand Bay constituency, Dr. Vince Henderson. The private sector in Dominica will have the opportunity to contribute to the discussion on the CARICOM industrial policy and strategy. This policy is currently being finalized and consultations are taking place throughout the region. As part of this process, a national virtual consultation is scheduled for tomorrow at 10 a.m. for members of the Dominica private sector.
The 21st of August, Thursday, the consultation is going to be held with Dominica private sector enterprises to both present the industrial policy and strategy and the architect for implementation, and to also hear from stakeholders, including the private sector, their views and thoughts on the proposed industrial ecosystem as creating an opportunity for private sector investment, but also the niggling issues that the private sector has been faced, both in terms of doing business within the region and in accessing extra-regional markets. The intention is to present, but to also hear from private sector as to how an industrial policy, how a strategy can be aligned to ensure that the private sector can achieve meaningful employment, can provide meaningful employment, can contribute towards growth and development, but more so can be profitable. For indeed, the vision of the industrial policy ensure that goods and services that are produced in Dominica as part of the wider Caribbean, as part of the wider CARICOM, is internationally competitive, is profitable, and sustainable. We invite everyone to join in this consultation tomorrow and let your voices be heard.
Development Specialist Sandy Ford Edwards. The community policing program has reached the Newtown community. Coordinator of the community policing program, David Andrew Jr., says the initiative aims to foster stronger connections with local residents. He emphasized the importance of a collaborative effort between the community and the police to create a safer and more secure society.
Our intent here today is to bridge the divide, bridge the gap between the the police and the public. As one of our major community policing initiatives is to engage in areas where predominantly the police sometimes comes just to deal with reports. So we want to break that narrative. What we want to do is engage with the public, reach out, find out what are their issues, what are their concerns, and to bring about solutions to those concerns. So that is the aim of this initiative today in Newtown. The aim is to foster greater ties with the community, make the community understand that the law and crime and violence is not only a police thing, it's a community thing. We must work together to achieve the objectives of having a more safer and more secure society. The feedback has been excellent. Last week we were at Silver Lake and the response was very good. The communities are happy to see the presence of the police on the ground, interacting with them, engaging with them, and they feel more relaxed and more free in asking questions, and we are there willing to answer whatever questions they have, so that at the end of the day they understand our role and responsibility, and they understand their responsibility in ensuring more safe environment for them to live in their communities.
Coordinator of the Community Policing Program, David Andrew Jr. Approximately 500 freshmen are expected to join the Dominica State College for the fall semester beginning in September 2025. A series of student orientation and registration activities will take place from August 26 to August 29, 2025. Freshers Week marks the official welcome for the college's new accepted students.
Now, Freshers Week is designed to equip new students with the tools and resources they need for academic success, while also serving as a vibrant introduction to college life. It reflects DSC's commitments to ensuring that every new student experiences a smooth and supportive transition into higher education. DSC eagerly looks forward to welcoming the incoming freshers and is committed to supporting their success, growth, and building of lasting memories through their journey at the college. On Tuesday, August 26th, we will have the new student orientation, where freshmen will collect their exclusive freshers packet, attend the convocation ceremony, explore the academic resources, and more. Activities will begin at 9 a.m. And in the activities, DSC will host a parent and guardian orientation from 4:30 p.m., which includes a campus tour and an opportunity to engage with college leadership and faculty.
Marketing and Communications Officer at the Dominica State College, Kimberly Benjamin. The fleet of fire trucks in Dominica is to see major improvements this year. Minister for National Security, Braben Blackmore, says 4 trucks are being procured.
We're committed, of course, in the last financial year of last year, where close to $2 million was actually made available for the purchase of a new fire truck. And this truck has to be manufactured from scratch. You also have an immediate solution to deal frontally with some of the challenges of the fire department, and that's for the procurement of 3 additional trucks, one of which has the competence to discharge foam, and we know that's critical. And we're hoping before the end of the year, not hoping, we will get this truck before the end of the year to be deployed in St. Joseph, and an additional fire truck for Roseau. Yeah, the third one is in Portsmouth, but it's the Portsmouth, St. Joseph, and Roseau. All right, so that's what we're doing. In terms of the additional officers you're talking about new entrants into the fire service for people who are retired, because by way of natural attrition. So we are looking forward to actually have a situation whereby we can have additional officers employed.
Minister for National Security, Braben Blackmore. Lead singer of the Signal Band, Sheldon Shelley Alfred, says recent restrictions imposed by the United States administration have prevented the band from performing in the U.S. He expressed this concern during the Creole Heartbeat program, which aired on DBS Radio this morning, hosted by Ambassador Leroy Wadix Charles.
Yeah, I mean, there have been challenges regarding visas and stuff, work permits and stuff.
Why?
Boy, it's very complicated. You know, it's beyond. I mean, it's stuff we're working on behind the scenes, but you know, there's some things that out of our control. You know, the serious administration have their own internal changes and shifts. Yeah, it's now always a different time. Well, I mean, the process was always unpredictable. Yeah, like denials and stuff. They've always been happening. Like now we're just kind of tougher. I think also now we're battling with still a lot of people taking the illegal route and getting caught. Yeah. Because every time that is done, that is a red flag. That is a flag.
You are not allowed to travel to the US as a band as we speak.
Pretty much no.
Okay, but you can travel as a solo artist.
Yeah.
So you will not be Signal Band will not be represented in the US.
For now.
What about the UK?
And we've been working on it.
What about
the UK? Actually, I'm traveling to London tomorrow.
And solo.
It's solo, but the band was supposed to do that. We had a very huge misunderstanding and issue with a promoter that actually booked Signal Band for this weekend in the UK. And you know, it was on our calendar.
This weekend is Notting Hill Carnival.
Yeah. Contract signed, everything, and trust me, it was that, as they like to say, something like this in the Martin court.
Lead singer of the Signal Band, Sheldon Shelley Alfred. The Signal Band celebrated 15 years anniversary. That's the national focus, regional and international developments up next.
It's in the feeling in our we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. 'Cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things going. Before we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrate and come let your rhythm flow.
DBS News.
In news from the region, 2 Haitian police officers were killed and 6 others injured yesterday when a drone intended for targeting gang members exploded at a police base in Port-au-Prince. It was the first government acknowledgement of a correlation damage in Haiti's use of aerial bombs against armed criminal groups. Since March, a task force under the Haitian Prime Minister's office made up of the police, military and other entities has been operating drones to target gang members. On Tuesday, an attack drone launched by the task force landed in an empty field without detonating. Local residents found it and took it to a police SWAT team. Members of the SWAT team were trying to disarm the device when it exploded, killing 2 officers. And internationally, Israel military says it has begun the preliminary actions of a planned ground offensive to capture and occupy all of Gaza City and already has a hold on its outskirts. A military spokesman said troops were already operating in areas to lay the groundwork for the offensive, which Defense Minister Israel Katz approved on Tuesday. Hamas has accused Israel of obstructing a ceasefire deal in favor of continuing a brutal war against innocent civilians. That's news, the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next with Gavin Richards.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Flo's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or larger. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
Well, good evening. I'm Gavin Richards. Welcome to the DBS Evening Sports Report. Let's bowl off with cricket as Dominica's young batting prodigy, Arsenio Fountain, has been named in a West Indies under-19 team for a series of matches against Sri Lanka as the West Indies continue with preparations for the upcoming under-19 World Cup. Well, the World Cup is set for January 2026 in Zimbabwe and Namibia, but the West Indies will battle Sri Lanka in 7 50-over matches starting next week in Antigua. Fountain, who left state on Wednesday for a preparatory camp in Antigua, says it's a dream come true to represent the West Indies.
When I received the news, I was like, over the moon. I was celebrating my goals for the tournament. I feel like 7 matches, 750 matches. So my goal was to score at least 200 in that tournament. I'm gonna try my best, never quit, and just keep on batting, and then the result will come.
And that's the West Indies under-19 player Arsenio Fontaine. Well, he credited his family for helping him to get to where he is today. And he also says a number of coaches played a role in his development.
Coach Sam Kunan, also the coaches, Phoenix, Raymond Kazimi, all of those coaches like pushing me to my limits. Even my other players, my under-19 captain Stefan Pascal, he helped me too. Other teammates
and that's the West Indies under-19 player Arsenio Fontaine. Well, Arsenio Fontaine is the brother of former West Indies under-19 women's player Anisha Fontaine, and she told DBS Sports that she's overjoyed with the news of her brother's success.
Honestly, I was not surprised at all, but I did shed a tear because to have my younger brother make the West Indies under-19 as well, and I made that team back in 2023 to go to the World Cup in South Africa, that actually really made me proud, and my family is extremely proud of him. I just want him to continue to work hard no matter how difficult the level gets. Just continue to work hard, trust in the Lord, pray, and just do what he have to do. Most importantly, my family is proud. All of us are proud of him. He's always been a person that works very hard. He always dominates in runs, and I'm just extremely proud of him. As a bigger sister, I'm extremely proud.
And that's the former West Indies under-19 women's player Anisha Fontaine. Let's move to some track and field news as national athlete Trennis Hamilton is looking to give it her best shot as she gets set for the women's shot put event at the 2025 Pan Am Junior Games in Paraguay. Well, Hamilton, a former Carifta Games gold medalist and U.S. Collegiate Athlete of the Year, is set to compete tomorrow afternoon. Hamilton on the weekend took part in the NACAC Championships in the Bahamas, where she threw a season's best on her way to a 7th place finish in the shot put finals.
I honestly was very satisfied considering the fact that I was in a bit of runs like in the outdoor season coming up because of certain injuries, but I am back where you see like I feel confident enough for me to be able to execute my training, my gym, everything is like aligning when I need it to align. And at the NACA games, the 17.29 that I threw was what you would consider a safe throw, and considering the fact like I know I have so much more in the tank, I'm looking forward to putting everything together at the right time so that I can dominate at this competition coming forward. I'm just going to basically just have fun, first off, because it's my last junior meet. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to make sure that I do not just randomly change anything in my technique. I stay true to what I've been doing, and it's been working out for me, so I make sure I stay right where I am, and just keep it going. It only takes one throw, so I'm going to try and do that one throw 6 times. My expectation is to win, to be really honest. I know the field is definitely packed. It is very packed, but I mean, I have to have faith in myself. I truly have to have faith in myself and what I'm doing, and I have to have confidence in what I am doing. So like, I'm going to bring my A game, and I'm going to make everybody else work for it, to be honest.
And that's the national athlete Trennis Hamilton. Football news now. The Dominica Football Association has started the process for the recruitment of a new coach for the senior men's national football team. Well, this as Ellington Sabin's contract as head coach has come to an end. Sabin has been the head coach for the team since of March of 2023. He previously served as assistant coach under Shane Marshall and Rajesh Latru. Well, under his watch, he guided Dominica back into League B of the CONCACAF Nations League, and the team also secured a 4th place finish in their group in the World Cup qualifiers. Earlier this year, the DFA president Glenn Etienne had indicated that the DFA would be making the position vacant at the end of Sabin's contracted period, and that the position would be open to local and foreign coaches. The Dominica Football Association today announced the position as vacant and that they are seeking suitably qualified individuals to apply for the job. Well, among the required qualifications for the position is a minimum level B coaching license and also a minimum of 10 years experience as a national team coach. Well, the former national team coach Ellington Sabin told DBS Sports today that he intends to reapply for the position. The deadlines for the applications is September 10th, 2025. Back to cricket news. The Trinbago Knight Riders captain and former West Indies captain Nicholas Pooran says he has no regrets over the choices that he's made. Well, Pooran, who is one of the most sought-after T20 players in the world, says the decisions that he's made over the course of his career have helped him to become the player that he is today.
I saw myself to this level throughout my career at a young age. From getting into that accident, getting banned from West Indies cricket, going around the league, learning my trade, applying my trade, and developing. For me, it's been different from other players around the West Indies, and that's something which is really special, and I'm grateful for. I'm really happy that I could have lived with the consequences of my decisions, and for me, that's something that I'd always stand behind my decisions, and yeah, it's been a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, but for me, the most important thing is my support staff, my wife, my parents, Polly, Brav, Jason, Zeph, Oba, all these guys. They stood by me when the chips were down, and for me, that is something that has helped me and become the person I am today. Winning the CPL would mean everything for me. I've been chasing a CPL title from the inception of CPL. Yes, TKR has been successful, but I haven't won anything, obviously, with Guyana, Trinidad, and Barbados. So it's an opportunity for me, and it would mean a lot because it's not only just winning a title for myself, but I'll be winning a title for the people of Trinidad and Tobago and all our TKR fans around the world.
And that's the Trinbago Knight Riders captain and former West Indies captain Nicholas Pooran. Well, CPL action will continue tonight with the Trinbago Knight Riders. They'll be taking on the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons. That game gets underway at 7 o'clock this evening. Meantime, last night we saw Ruston Chase and Johnson Charles getting half centuries as the defending champions, the St. Lucia Kings, handed the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots their third straight defeat of the competition. Let's move to basketball as the Dr. Daru Frischler Sports Club Falcons will be looking to extend their lead at the top of the DABA Premier League standings as they take to the court as the Premier League continues tonight. The Falcons are in a three-way tie for first place with the defending champions, the Detroit Blazers and the Paybush Super Eagles on 14 points. They will challenge the Hilltop Services Trafalgar Prowlers tonight. That game is set to get underway at 9 o'clock from the Massac Indoor Facility. Meantime, in the Division 1 League, the West Coast Ballers can move into first place in the point standings with a win over the Real-Time Ballers tonight. That game gets underway at 7 o'clock this evening. And of course, the West Coast Ballers, they are tied with the Falcons and the Maho Gators with 15 points. And these three teams in a three-way tie for first place in the Division 1 League. Football news, going back to football news, Valvoline Way United, well, they kept their chances of a top 3 finish in the DFA Premier League mathematically alive as they came from a goal down to beat DSFC as the Premier League continued last night at the DFA Technical Centre, where we got 2 goals from Roosevelt Kopel and a goal each from Alson Gasper, Dale Dangleben and Lennon Banis as Way United won the match 6-2. Nixon Paquette and Raheem Reynolds scored the goals for DSFC. Well, despite the win, the Way United head coach Kenny John Charles was not too happy with the performance.
Honestly, I think we sort of, I have to say, we a little bit kind of underestimate the team, and which is something I hate doing because they are players also, and I hate disrespecting other teams like that. But we just didn't have our A game on, honestly. We could have done much better than that. In the first 5 minutes of the game, we were just not involved in the game at all.
How did you sort of wake up the guys, having conceded so early in the game, yet you're able to come back?
Well, like we said in the interval, I mean, the guys know exactly our game plan. It has been said in the last training session, during the locker room, and all we had to do is just curl back a bit the wings. We had to just open up again. That's our game. Use the width of the field because the guys are not mobile for that. So once we open the field, that's it.
All right, with this result still in mathematically for chance of third place, but it's going to take some real, special calculations. But how would you sum up the season for Way United with, the possibility of a top 3 finish still on the cards?
Technically, it was an up and down season for us. honestly, we were looking to challenge Jubilant. We didn't just come to just be in the league. I mean, from the off-season to now, our sole aim was to challenge Jubilant, well, the champs, and congratulations to them as well, to challenge them for the top spot. We faltered in a few games that we should not have lost, and we kind of lose our way a little bit. And honestly, I think our training has a lot to do with that. I mean, we always pride ourselves on training, and it was showing that, you know, not enough guys on the park during training session and stuff like. I know guys have their commitments. I know that. I too sometimes have my own. But if the guys make a little more effort and, you know, play as a team structure, I think we could have give a better showing.
And that's the Valvoline We United head coach Kenny John Charles. Well, with the win, the We United team, they've moved to 28 points. They are 3 points behind the Roosevelt Scarlet Bombers as we head into the final game of the season this weekend. However, the Roosevelt Scarlet Bombers, apart from the 3-point advantage, they also have a superior goal difference. So it will be really tough for We United to overtake them on the last game of the season. The loss has also, meantime, confirmed DSFC's relegation back to the Division 1 League. And of course, the club will also face some penalties from the DFA after it has discovered that they played an ineligible player last night. And the player in question, he played for Bathurst State FC just on the weekend. Of course, Bathurst State FC pulled off a big win over the Wayne George Academy last weekend. And, well, the player showed up for DSFC last night, something the DFA will surely not be taken very lightly. And speaking of the DFA, the president, Glenn Etienne, says development of the grassroots is key for the future of football on the island. His comments came yesterday at the accreditation ceremony for the DFA's grassroots program. The Kalinago Warriors FC, We United FC, South City FC, and Naturescape FC, well, they all had their programs officially accredited by the DFA.
Today's ceremony is not just about certificate or equipment. It's about building the foundation of football in Dominica. The success of our young girls and boys is no accident. It is a result of consistent investment in grassroots and youth development, particularly through our regional training centers. But let me be clear, this is only the beginning. I want to commend the clubs that have stepped up, fulfill all the requirements, and earn their grassroots accreditation. You are leading the way. But to the clubs and structures that are still behind, this is your call to action. Football cannot grow on hopes alone. It grows through structures, accountability, and commitment.
And that's the DFA president, Glenn Etienne, taking us to the end of the DBS Evening Sports Report. Of course, we'll have some more sporting highlights for you tomorrow morning during the DBS Major Morning News. A quick reminder, look out for Off the Field tonight as we're back with Delvin Esprit and also Augustine Beno Pascal will be joining us as well. We'll have some guests from the United States as we'll be discussing some basketball and also some, well, we're expecting the boxing president, Job Joseph, to come through as well. And also, we will be discussing the controversies surrounding the Domino team. Delvin Esprit, I'm sure, will have some views on that. So tune in to Off the Field at 7 o'clock this evening. You've been listening to the DBS Evening News, which was presented to you by Leila Langford, and I brought you the sports. On behalf of the entire news and sports department, our links person DJ Halo Boy, I'm Gavin Richards saying good evening.
Flo's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or larger. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good
evening and welcome to this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 20th day of August 2025. We begin with this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Death Announcements. We announce the death of Kawim Kinsley Wood Alfred, better known as Jerry, age 53, of Bath Estate, who resided at Girardel. He died on Sunday, the 20th of July 2025 at his residence. He was the husband of Rhoda. He was the father of Keishon, Jasmine, and Chiron. He will also be remembered by his sisters, Laureen, Shelley, Miriam, Cindy, Jolene,